I'm Jamie Maggio here with Skip Bayless and Shannon Sharp. Good morning, fellas. Happy Friday.
Jamie, how are you?
Good morning, Jamie. How are you today? Old walking tour.
Doing all right.
Old walking tour, walking out, huh, Skip?
No, old Shay Sharp jinxed me again.
What?
Every time you pick a team that I need to win, I gotta win. I needed the Giants to drop the Eagles to 2-4 last night. And as soon as you picked the Giants, I said it on the air yesterday, I am dead in the water. And I was.
What about the team?
You can't pick your nose.
How about this, Skip? How about the team that you're rooting for? How about they take care of their own business?
That's a good
Hey,
point.
JM, how you doing today?
Well, you know what? I'm a Giants fan, so I've had.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah.
What's up, bro? You good?
Hey.
Come on, Skip. I mean, what's going on?
I'll be better Sunday.
No, you won't. No, you won't. I'll be better Monday.
We'll see about that.
Let's all be better at the end of the show. How about that? We'll start there. We do have a jam-packed show for you today. Nick Young, a.k.a. Swaggy P.
Swaggy.
He's going to be in the studio with us, hopefully bringing all his swag. We're going to get to the Cowboys drama in a minute, but we are going to start with last night's game. The Eagles desperately needed a win, and they dominated my Giants from the opening kick. Carson Wentz finished with 3 touchdown passes, and the Eagles blew out the Giants 34-13. On the Giants side, Odell Beckham Jr. had a very disappointing night. He left the field, headed to the locker room before halftime, leaving the rest of the Giants offense on the field. Then in the second half, Beckham banged his head against a fan on the sideline and clearly looked frustrated. He finished with only 6 catches for 44 yards. After the game, he explained why he appeared to walk out on his teammates. Take a listen.
I was cramping, so I was trying to go get an IV because, you know, the halftime break is really like 5-10 minutes. So if I can use a couple extra seconds, then go in there and get an IV, be able to come back out. That's really all it was.
The old Ivy at halftime. You buying that explanation?
You know what, Jamie? I have no reason to doubt him. I'm not into the business of a guy's not injured. He is injured. He went and got an IV. He didn't go get an IV. That's not my job, Skip. I'm going to take him at his word. He says he was cramping. I have no reason to believe that he wasn't cramping. But I will say this. What Odell has done by doing the interview and his antics on the sideline has distracted us from the fact that Eli Manning is playing terrible, Skip Bayless. That's what he's done. The defense is playing terrible. And Saquon Barkley might be better than advertised. So he's doing 2 things. He's taking away from Saquon's greatness while also masking that a lot of the issue is Eli. Now, they benched Eli last year. Now, Skip, maybe they handled it wrong. But you and I both believe Ben McAdoo got the blessing from ownership and the general manager to bench Eli. But when it got to the fans and the blowback came, all of a sudden, after 1 game, they inserted him in the lineup. But Eli has been trending downward for an extended period of time. Now, that's not to take anything away from the Eagles. I believe the Eagles were the better team. I believe the Eagles, I picked the Giants to win because I thought they would play better. At some point in time, Skip, this offense has got to play better than what it's playing. And I said, you know what? They're home. They're going to play better. Crowd's going to be into the ball game, Thursday night ball game, short week.
Hey, Eli played pretty well at Carolina the previous.
Yeah, but Eli is trending downward. Skip, the thing is with Odell, you said Odell, the Giants should just move on.
I did.
I said,
And
you know
I
what?
still do.
Give Odell his money. Odell's going to grow up. You know, he's matured. He understands. All that money did was give Odell the security to continue down the path that he was on, and that's to act up when he doesn't get the ball. I get it. He wants the ball in his hands, Skip. He feels he can help the team win. But let me tell you another guy that feels he can help the team win when the ball's in his hand. But you never see these antics. DeAndre Hopkins. Look at the quarterbacks he's played with. Skip, in 2015, he played with Brian Hoyer, Ryan Mallett, T.J. Yates, Brandon Whedon. Went to the Pro Bowl. Even as bad as Eli is right now, we all think Eli is better than all those guys I just named. But you never see DeAndre Hopkins acting like this.
Well, now he has a quarterback. Go ahead.
12 games with Deshaun Watson. But previously, he had who did he have last year, Skip? 2 years ago, Brock Osweiler. He doesn't act like this. And I get it. And people are like, well, what Tom Brady does. Okay, if you want to be passionate, be passionate. But my problem with him is that when he did the interview, a part of being a leader, Skip, is sometimes covering for a guy that you know is playing bad. That's part of also being a leader. Okay, look, There have been times, Skip, we weren't playing bad. And I was like, you know what? We have to play better. Offensive line got to block better. Defense has to tackle better. O'Shea Sharp needs to run route and get open better. You just don't, because I didn't hear Odell mention anything in the interview about what Odell needs to do in order to help the Giants win. So that's all it's done, Skip. When I watched the Giants game, which is infrequently as I possibly can, but it just so happened it was the only game on and I knew we were going to talk about it, I try not to watch it because I know if he doesn't get the ball, this is what's going to happen. So what I see from Odell, this is not going away. This is not going away until he starts getting his 15 targets, his 10 catches, his 100 yards, and 2 touchdowns. But it's a distraction from how poorly Eli Manning is playing and how trash that defense has gotten in 2 years.
So, I agree with some of what you said, but not all of it. So I'll start with Odell, start from the start, or maybe the end. So Odell reaches for the LeBron excuse. I cramped. We've heard that from LeBron before, and sometimes I'm with it, and sometimes I'm not. So this was light rain and 70 degrees, kind of a nice night in New York. Not exactly crampy kind of weather, but maybe to your point, who knows, maybe so. But even if he did need an IV at halftime, if you are the leader of this team, as he says he is, as many of his teammates say he now can be, or even if you're just a leader, one of the leaders of this team, you do not make a dramatic exit with 1 play left when your offense is on the field. If the defense is on the field, I might give you a little bit of a pass because it's not quite as bad a look, but your offense was on the field and you bailed on your offense. That's why it's such a bad look to me. If in fact,
It's a bad look, but I'm not going to say he wasn't cramping.
But if you're the leader, and that was the whole push through training camp, this is a new Odell, and I'm going baloney. It's a new Odell. He's just on his best behavior.
You want that money?
Who was it? Antrell Roll.
Antrell Roll.
Yeah, Antrell Roll. Yes, that's what Antrell Roll said. He could be a great baloney.
One of the best leaders in Giants history.
What? Are you kidding me? So. Did Odell have perfect reason to be out of his mind frustrated over the first half? Sure he did, as did just about everybody else except Eli on the football team. Because Eli Manning on passes of 3 yards or more in the first half was 1 for 10. Well, it's just pathetic. To your point, he looked old, he looked slow, he looked gun shy, he looked like he should have retired 2 years ago, right? As he often does. Sometimes he'll have a little bounce back game like he did at Carolina, and he'll tease you and fool you along for another week to the point that you picked him last night. I picked him last night because Eli, a year ago, had his 2 best games against these Eagles. He lit them up, man, with big 300-yard passing nights in days, 2 games last year. Well, that was just pathetic. And it did make Ben McAdoo look really right for what he did in Week 13 a year ago. And by the way, he ultimately lost his job over that. And Jerry Reese ultimately lost his job. And I think the new regime, I think one reason they got hired was that they pledged allegiance to Eli going forward. And obviously they picked Saquon because they pledged allegiance to Eli, right? So they kind of look bad, too, because they're kind of stuck with Eli, at least for the rest of the year.
Oh, yeah.
And I got to tell you, I look at the draft prospects coming in, the quarterbacks, Drew Lock or Justin Herbert. I don't see it, man. I'm not sure.
It's not as good as the crop that just got into the league.
They were just there. Okay, but do I completely condemn them for taking Saquon over the 3 left on the board? I do not. I don't love those other 3, Darnold, Josh Allen, Josh Rosen. I don't love them enough to say, I don't know, why did you pick Saquon?
Okay.
Baker Mayfield, a whole nother issue, but he was gone. Okay, now back to last night. Again, if you're the quote-unquote leader and you now make $65 million guaranteed, you can't look like you're making a statement of, I don't want to associate with that mess on the field. That's what that looks like. I'm out of here. I'm gone. And again, it looks like you're pouting. It looks like... Well, this is it. This is why I wouldn't have given him his money. He's more trouble than he's worth because they have the worst record in the NFL at 1-5, which is mind-boggling to me because they do have Odell and Saquon. But look what Odell's got him, 1-5. Why? Because he prioritizes his stats, his performance, his shine over team unity and winning football games.
Yes.
I don't care. In the end, he just doesn't get it. And I like him. I think his heart is good. He just doesn't get it. He's still childlike to me.
I tweeted last night, I think Odell is a phenomenal player, but I think he's an awful teammate.
Yeah. Well, he is.
Two things can be true.
Two things can be true.
And if you look at...
And by the way, he made 2 or 3 little plays last night where he would escape and you'd say, oh, there he is.
And the thing is, Skip, my problem is that, okay, Odell says he wants the ball in his hand. He's a playmaker.
Yeah.
But I don't want the ball in my hands, and I'm not a playmaker with 2 seconds on the clock.
Yeah.
So I couldn't have made a play then. Okay. So let me go on and get this IV.
I mean, come on. Look, I was around Michael Irvin at his greatest. I was around Jerry Rice at his greatest. Trust me, they both threw sideline fits.
Absolutely.
But they didn't exit stage left with the play left with the offense on the field. They just didn't do it because they cared about winning. That they were driven. They said, give me the ball because I can beat them. That was the MO. Odell wants the ball because it's Thursday night football. It's me. It's my stage. Give me the rock because I can rise and shine.
Skip, there's a phone. I don't know if the coordinator, Pat Sherman, I think it calls the plays. For me, the offensive coordinator was always upstairs. There was a red phone that had direct knowledge, the direct line, because they called down and want to talk to me. I would get on the phone, Brian Perrioni, if there was something that I didn't like, I would get on the phone, that red phone, and I say, throw me the GD ball. I say, I'm tired of running around out here like with my head cut off.
You and hundreds of other receivers.
Exactly. There's a right and a wrong way to do everything.
There is. So even in the second half, as we saw the video, Odell headbutts the fan and throws little punches at the fan. He knows exactly what he's doing. He's creating a diversion, a distraction that's going to get talked about post-game, that's going to get played on the highlight show, or the low-light show in this case, because he knows it's going to take some focus off the mess that he helped make on the football field. He gets it. He knows. Then he can argue, I was just trying to get myself pumped up, fired up in the second half. Well, the game's, it's a rout. It's a disaster. Which brings me to what a long, excruciating night it was for me as a Dallas Cowboy fan, because, again, I needed the Giants to win that game. And what tore my guts out early in the game was...
Walking to him? Huh? Oh, walking to him tore your heart out?
Yeah, thank you for bringing that up, because it's still my turn, because it's my stage right now. Walk it to him through 3 balls that should have been intercepted early that would have changed the game and maybe changed the season. And I'm sorry, but I got to walk through these 3 walk it to him plays, because the first one comes with Philly leading only 7-3 late in the first quarter, and it's 3rd and 7 from Philly's 17-yard line. And walk it to him, gets his hand hit, and the ball just goes. It's a punt. It's up for grabs. Shea Sharp, what usually happens on a ball like that? One of 5 DBs intercepts it.
Yeah.
Kareem
Basically,
Martin.
if it's over the middle.
Okay, it's just up for, it's in the middle of the football field. And somehow Nelson Aguilar says, I'll call a fair catch on this. And I got it. And I'm going to run for 32 yards on that play. It's shockingly terrible for the Giants not to come away with that football. So now it's 1st and 10 at the 49. On the very next play, walk it to him, Wentz. Here's Aguilar finishing. Next play, walk it to him, just looks, he stares down Alshon and overthrows him wild high. And wait a minute, it's your guy, Janoris Jenkins. He hits him right in the hands at the sideline. It would have been a good catch, but it's a catch you got to make.
But it was pass interference, so it wouldn't matter.
No, it wasn't pass interference. It was hold on the Eagles. It was holding, so we would have just...
You got the ball.
We, the Giants, would have just declined the penalty. It would have been our ball. And remember, at that point, it's only 7-3.
Our ball.
Yeah.
Well, I'm an hour now because I needed the Giants.
I see.
You know, and by the way, I said this last night, but in the rivalry in the division, the Giants are the one team I always respect. I can kind of tolerate the Redskins. I despise the Eagles. I don't like anything about them.
Yeah, because for so long they've been the little brother.
Yeah,
and y'all criticize them and put them down because they had no rings.
Yeah, but
and
every
now
time they win, they got bad body language. They're arrogant. They're chest beaters. I don't like
Well,
them.
y'all don't win, and y'all still arrogant and chest
We've
beaters.
dominated this division for decades and decades. So that leads to the next play. Now it's 14-3, so it's still a football game, and it's 3rd and 4 at the 26-yard line, and walk it to him. Oh, he drops the football, and then he throws it sideways. Wait a second. He hit Connor Barwin right in the hands. He hit it to him. He could still be running. Look at this. Oh,
Missed opportunity.
What?
If he could catch it, he'd be a tight end.
He would still be running. He would be in the end zone. He would be gloating in the end zone with the football, and it would be 14-10, and all the momentum would now belong to our Giants,
But
right?
Skip, the ball.
Am I right?
I get it, Skip.
Okay, but those are three plays. They happened close together.
Yeah.
Late first, early 2nd. They're all game changers. They might be season changers, dare I say.
But let me ask you a question.
What is going on? It's just like meant to be for the Eagles again. That was a meant to be Eagles
How
night.
many times have you seen bad teams make good plays in those situations?
All right.
You know how it goes. The good teams make those plays.
They just make
the bad teams, that's why they're bad.
Okay, but I didn't think the Giants were that bad until the end of the night last night. That's a bad football team, and it has bad body language, head-sagging body language, and it just looks like it can't make a play.
Skip, that offensive line.
Okay.
Now you see why New England said, you know what, Nate Soda? You go ahead and take that money. We good over here. Skip, that's bad. That's bad football. And let me tell you what's starting to happen. If you remember Leighton Payton's career, Skip, he would get sacked and the ball would come out. Because as you get older as a quarterback, your grip starts to lessen. And
So is it a defective Manning gene you're talking about?
No. I'm saying older.
They just have fumbleitis?
Older quarterback.
Oh, I know.
Because you don't have the grip strength you had as a younger.
Or you don't have the sort of the conviction, like you can't take the punishment.
And the thing is, Skip, Eli is, and like I'm saying, I mean, if you think about it, Eli, down the field, under pressure. Play to Saquon. Now, if Saquon gonna break 100 tackles, make 55 people miss, Eli gonna have good numbers at the end of the night because of that long catch and run, Skip. He juked the entire team.
He did.
And broke 50 tackles.
And it's hard to believe you had Saquon making those plays, and you still just got annihilated. Really?
So what would they be without? I mean, at one point they flashed on the screen. Saquon had like 147 yards, and the other Giants had 13 or 14 yards. So it just goes to show you just how special he can be. Now I don't know if he can be special long term because he got to make 6 people miss just to get out the backfield. But Eli is bad. Skip. And Eli's been bad for a long time, and we need to stop this. But he beat Tom Brady. Skip, that was so long ago. And in sports, we update resumes. He's been to the playoff one time since he last beat Tom Brady in the Super Bowl.
Are you saying you were dead wrong last night because you picked him to win the game?
No. I thought the Giants would play better, but I was with Ben McAdoo for benching him last year. My problem was you knew Geno wasn't going to be your guy. You drafted Davis Webb in the 3rd round, I think, Skip?
Yeah.
So why would you go to Geno when you know he's not going to be the guy?
No idea.
Give Davis Webb that opportunity. But clearly they didn't think he was the guy. So I had no problem with it. Eli's been a mess for a long time, and we need to come to the realization. Odell's going to do, he's going to try to tear a trash, he's going to try to kick the net and punch the bench and headbutt the fan on the sideline. But don't let his distractions distract you from that mess that Eli Manning is putting out on the field. Let's not do that and skip that defense. We need to stop playing now.
If you thought Odell hitting his head against the fan was bad, you should have seen me in my living room last night. And when things went south for the Giants, it was after that Miami boat trip. That's when it all went downhill.
You could
and to
argue
what
that.
you're saying about Ben McAdoo and benching Eli, what were they trying to salvage in week 13 of last year? It was over. They messed up his consecutive start streak. The fans who feel loyal to him were really upset about it. The whole fan base was enraged, as we should be. But what they could have done is let him finish out the season. And then they could have taken a quarterback in the draft. I'm glad we have Saquon, but they could have taken a quarterback in the draft. It would have made more sense if they did it that way than if they benched him last year.
I'm going to say it again. I didn't love any of those 3 that were on the board. I don't think they'd be better than Saquon. I don't.
But it's not about Saquon.
No.
You can have a Skip unless he has a historic season, like Adrian Peterson, like ED, because remember, ED went 2105, got him into the playoffs. Adrian Peterson went 2097, got him into the playoffs. Unless Saquon has one of those type seasons,
I'm not sure he's capable of that.
Exactly. So you need a QB.
But what they did is they showed we are investing in Eli. This is our guy. We're putting our stock in Eli.
Well, you just went belly up. He Enron stock. You should have got off it when it was hot.
Well, all I can say is I hope the Giants quit completely by the final.
No.
Wait a second. By the final regular season game. Because I will probably need it to win the division. My Cowboys are visiting the Giants.
The division is over.
No.
The division is over.
It's just starting.
Walk it to him.
Starts.
All I know is in one fewer game, my guy has more yards, more touchdowns, and less interceptions than your guy.
Did you know going into last night that Walkett-Toom was second to last on third down in the National Football League? He was 31st in third down conversions.
You know what?
The Giants can cure you on that one.
You know what? I wasn't going to even bring this stat up, JM. I wasn't. I was going to keep this between me and my research guy.
Yeah.
But guess what? As bad as Eli's playing, guess whose QBR is worse than Eli's?
Oh, who's?
Skip Bayless, can you tell her?
Is it Dak Prescott?
Yeah, Skip Bayless, can you tell her?
This is a Giants.
No.
topic.
I'm not going to let you do that. I'm not going to let you do that, Skip Bayless.
So I got to wrap this up.
Okay.
I'm gonna change the subject back to what we're doing. I just have to see this because this also ripped my guts out last night.
What happened?
Walkett-Toom's first touchdown pass. It is so ill-advised. It is so dangerous. If we could please just see that. It's the rollout, right?
Yeah.
Throw across the body.
Yeah, you trust Alshon.
Yeah, he doesn't even really see where he's going to throw it.
Yes, he does.
He whips it sideways across his body. And what is Alec Ogletree doing? He's got the short zone. Of course, he'd already fouled somebody, so the play wouldn't have counted anyway.
Yeah.
But Ogletree, number 52, he's really a good linebacker. He just watches the football. Yeah. That's your football. That's the one you pick off. And Carson Wentz would have committed the cardinal sin in the red zone.
We got the ball back anyway.
Red zone interception.
We got the ball back. It was already pass interference
How
on the
can you
defense.
get away with this? Is it another meant to be?
What is wrong with you, Skip?
I just can't. I don't know. I
You
don't
wish
see it.
evil on Walkett-Toom.
I don't wish evil. He's just throwing balls up for grabs
he's not
and
throwing
getting away with it.
He knows where he's throwing.
Yeah. But, of course, he's got Alshon Jeffrey, a true number one. Wait. He's got a true number one receiver, and he's got maybe the best catching tight end in pro football in Zach Ertz.
I thought you were going to wrap it up.
Huh?
I thought
Well,
you were going to wrap it up. To get that in there. Huh?
Well, I'm just saying. My guy doesn't have any of that.
Oh, whose fault is that?
Jerry's.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, okay, well, don't blame that on Walkett-Toom.
We'll talk about
Howard T go get his
We'll
guy.
talk about them in a second.
Just in a second. Will the Cowboys offense hit rock bottom against the Jags on Sunday? I'm sorry. That's what they wrote.
Rock bottom.
Skip and Shannon will make their picks. You know what
They're already on the bottom.
And I won't back down.